Hey guys, welcome to Access's The Bachelorette the morning after. This week I am joined by my fiance, Jared Haibon, and we're going to talk about Luke's ignorance. To be kind, we'll call it ignorance.
Thumbs down.
And then Jed, and why this man just can't watch Jed anymore.
Nope, don't want to see him anymore.
How do you want to go about this?
I guess chronological order.
All right, so Peter.
Peter
First,
starts. Do we talk about Peter off screen or his time on screen last
Let's
night?
quickly
Both.
talk about off screen.
Oh, off screen? I think we should. Let's start with saying on screen because I feel like every Peter date, it's like, it's nice, it's lovely, but it's not memorable. Right? Right, like he's like the last person I want to talk or write about at the end of these episodes.
Yeah.
He's very sweet. There's nothing wrong with him. He seems like an amazing
seems like a very nice
catch.
man.
And then she obviously has a physical attraction with him.
Yeah, I was waiting for her reaction. Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Well, I wanted to see her reaction in the morning because obviously we know that whoever went in the windmill she sleeps with twice.
Yeah.
He went into the windmill, so I was very curious, and her reaction was very good. So
Yeah, Peter
said
says it was the best night of his life.
Yeah, Peter says that, but she said something in the morning too that was very positive about Peter, and I remember thinking, well,
We know.
Yeah. Oh, I think he said that obviously we took our relationship to the next level.
Yeah, they were very obvious about it, which I guess they were allowed. They were allowed. They put a lot of the obviousness in there, I think, because we knew at the end of the episode that it was him, and that we knew that the sex happened.
They made it very clear.
Yeah.
I meant off screen by saying there was news that came out recently about an ex-girlfriend who kind of thinks she was broken up with by Peter for the Bachelorette. That's what I was talking about when I was talking about off screen.
Right. So, I mean, it's not nearly as bad as the Jed situation because obviously
Jed went on the show
with the girlfriend
trying to manipulate Hannah into just getting far enough for his music career, and then was going to leave the show and date his girlfriend
At least with Peter, we have to like respect it. He was like, you know, a good enough human to break up with her and not to lead her on, because he even broke up with her in December, which is 3 months before. It was really when he wasn't finally casted. He was like in the midst of casting at that point. So he really just was like, I want to quit this before it gets too deep. And that's respectable.
Well, kind of, but he broke up with her for the show.
Yeah.
If the story's true, he definitely broke up for the show.
Yeah. Do we have an issue with it?
But he also did break up with her.
Yeah.
And in December, because I'm sure he wasn't casted until February. So he broke up with her before final casting.
Yeah, but also it was right before Christmas. I hate when guys do that
is
right
really,
during
really sad.
or on holidays.
My sister hasn't broken up with around holidays, and it makes for a really bad holiday.
But I think, especially you and I actually take the perspective of the female, and we're like, that sucks. He broke up with her out of nowhere, and so she wants to put the blame on something, and she's putting the blame on the Bachelorette, and I think she has every right to, but we don't know the full story.
I guess not, and I would like to think that he wouldn't break up with like somebody that he really saw a future with for the show.
Oh God, I hope not.
You know, so I think like he must have known like she wasn't his one. I hope so.
But also, it's amazing how fast forward he does have a chance of being the Bachelor if he doesn't win.
I don't think this is as big of a blip as
No way. After yesterday's news, no way he becomes Bachelor. No offense to Peter. I like him.
Well, we've talked about this before, and if Peter doesn't win, we don't even think it's going to be him as a Bachelor. But you guys,
I think he's like the ultimate runner-up Bachelor.
I fell in love with, I can't say much about the mental wall. I fell in love with Mike, though. So Mike is now in the running for me
I feel like
for
Mike
Bachelor.
might really be in the running for Bachelor.
Mike's definitely in the running.
Okay, so let's, we're done with talking about the Windmill Fantasy Suite.
Yeah.
Move on to Tyler.
Tyler's date was the biggest takeaway from the episode for me because it was the exact parallel to the Luke drama. She experienced a guy that actually respected her to tears. Like, she was moved to tears because of the level of respect he had for her.
Yeah, Jared.
Yeah, I think she really likes Tyler. I don't think she wants to be with Tyler. I think Tyler is the guy that she sees that checks off all the checklist, right? He's good looking, he's respectable, he's charming, he's sweet, he's nice, he's all these things.
Family man.
Yet that connection that is indescribable, love. I don't know, last night I think she just knows that she's not gonna pick him and it breaks her heart.
No.
I disagree.
No.
Which is why she was crying when he left, because she was like,
No.
Now I'm
I
confused.
don't think she can get there with him.
Okay, so actually, I'm glad that I watched this interview right before coming in this room. Hannah said that up until the fantasy suite, she did feel like that with Tyler. She thought that the thing that they had most going for them was physical attraction. Why she felt so frustrated and like crying, I hope out of the respect thing, but also crying out of just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do
Now I'm really
here?
confused.
Was because she said she felt such an emotional attachment to him and they connected so deeply emotionally in the fantasy suite that she really didn't know what to do from then on because she thought that it was going to be like what you just said.
I mean, I guess we'll find out, but I still stand by my words because I think that in that moment, she really didn't know what to do because I think she still had stronger feelings for somebody else at the moment, which I think is Jed. Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like last night's episode was such a good learning lesson for parents and their children to talk through how to be treated by a man, how to be treated by a woman. And the first lesson was definitely all about Tyler and how he respected her decision to not hook up in the fantasy suite and really try and develop their emotional connection. I think you teach your sons, like, this is how you treat a woman.
It's perfect.
And then on the flip side, this is with Luke, this is not how you treat a woman.
Yeah.
And I watched this at my desk. My poor newsroom, I was screaming about the last hour of this episode. Screaming!
I did a checklist for my cousin Parlton. I was like, how do I like point out all the problems in this conversation? And I had to do like a bullet pointed list. Should we start with the
Let's go!
Okay, the one that's gonna stick out to me okay, well.
Oh wait, we forgot about Jed.
Oh, well, we'll do Jed at the end. It'll be a nice wrap up. Okay.
Sorry.
So this.
Don't apologize, Jed.
First, yeah. Number one that stands out to me. You owe me.
That was bad.
You owe me this.
That was the worst for me.
This man is so. He's just dim.
Yeah.
Dim.
Yeah.
He
I don't
does
think
not
he's
know how to communicate.
Yeah, I think he's just in. I've been saying this all along. I think he's so in over his head. He has no idea who he is as a human being. He does use religion to a
absolutely.
certain extent as a weapon. I remember Nick said it a while ago, and he's 100% right because everything he was trying to attack Hannah with was religion.
Yep.
And
Yep.
it was really unfair and kind of just distasteful.
Yeah, he is unintelligent. Again, I wish I could give you more from the mental wall, but everything we're talking about will be said. And I mean, I literally wrote a page-long notes. I wrote so much dialogue because it was just fascinating to watch.
Another thing that I just see here that I think goes with the Omi is like the slip up. He called her hooking up with somebody else a slip up, which would have meant that she didn't choose and think out the decision and that she regrets it afterward. Slip up has a lot of, what is it, like, has a lot around it. That's like a little expression that means a lot.
I'm assuming he meant that he is assuming at this point he's the one he feels, and so anybody else that she sleeps with is a mistake because he'll be the one at the end.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I took from it.
Okay.
Right, but everything he
true.
says
Yeah.
comes out wrong. He always backtracks.
Yeah.
He asks for clarity. And let me be clear, because he's not an intelligent human being and he's not well, but I think you bring up such an important part because Hannah is telling women out there, women should not be judged. We should feel empowered in our decisions. We can have sex when we want. We can have sex with who we want. And it was just so empowering last night. So let's see. Anything else?
I mean, the big issue here is that he's the condemning tone and the fact that, he just expects her to be loyal, monogamous to him when they're not in a committed
The
relationship.
perfect little wife.
Yeah.
But what would you say if you're on a date about to go into a fantasy suite with a girl you love and you find out the night before that she hooked up in a windmill with someone?
You wouldn't do it well. I know you wouldn't.
No, I mean, listen, it's also you have to put into context where they're at.
Weird.
Like they're going on dates with other people. Sure, if this is normal life, I would be very upset and we would have a serious conversation about whether we should continue dating or not. But in the context of the show, that's how the show works. I would not my reaction would be, I don't want to know anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just don't want to think about it. I don't want to
Yeah.
know anything. Whatever happened, happened.
But how
and
did
let's
he
just focus.
find out?
It's what you signed up for.
Luke.
He didn't find out until
Yes.
she admitted.
No.
What?
He said on last night's episode, I swear, he said, someone told me.
No, I
didn't
didn't
hear
hear that.
I mean, if someone told him, it was obviously production.
Okay, yeah, that's what I figured.
I'm sure he had.
I
An
mean, if
inkling.
that was
they
said, though,
probably
I didn't
gave
hear
him
it.
an inkling.
Of course, they knew that probably
Yeah.
sex was very important to him, so they were like, maybe you should talk about it.
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was obviously a conversation that he wanted to have and something that's very important to him.
Yeah.
But the whole context of how he was. Just Luke, this entire journey of Luke on The Bachelorette was one gigantic mess and mistake for him. Because from the very first line when he said that he saw Jesus in the shower,
I know.
it's like, no.
We were talking about that at the beginning.
I
It feels
know.
like months ago.
I know, and it's like, just please, this guy needs to just, get off the show, do some self-reflection, and figure out who he is and what he wants, because he's just not there yet. And it's just a sign of a guy who's just not ready to be in a situation like this. And it blew up in his face last night. It's been blowing up in his face all season. Doesn't make it right. Like a lot of his actions were dickish. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
So when she decides, okay, he's done, get up.
How
and he won't.
amazingly
I know.
articulate was she though?
Yeah.
She's my hero.
Like
killed it.
sometimes I find myself to be like the most articulate and like boom, boom, boom when I am mad, and then when I'm like not having like an emotion like that, then I'm just like
Right.
She killed it last
But
night.
she was just like
She was on fire, and everything she was saying was on point, and she was
Yeah.
articulating. She wasn't repeating herself.
Yeah.
Everything just came out with force
Yeah.
and savvy and intelligence. And she said what she needed to say, and then she said, get up, and he wasn't getting up. It's like, Luke. That was a perfect example of who Luke is. Kind
Yeah.
of childish.
Yeah.
Get up, Luke.
Yeah.
It's over, bro.
Wouldn't get- And then outside
And then
the
he
car
said,
in
"You
the
owe
rain.
me."
Oh,
yeah, you didn't
It's like,
know me.
what are
I
you
was like,
talking
oh, gosh,
about, Luke?
No.
Come on, man. Just save yourself the embarrassment. Get up, go in the car, and just kind of think about the things that you said and the things that you could do better, instead of telling Hannah that she owes you an extra minute for a conversation.
That was the worst word choice. If he said
Yeah.
like, I really feel the need to get this off my chest, just that be so much better.
I mean, he's just not human. I find that he's robotic. I don't understand any of the choices he makes.
I also need to say that he I don't know.
Okay, so then like I just love this so much. So she says like, oh yeah, so he wouldn't get into the car, and she says, I can get you into that limo from what you said.
that's when she like says, by the fact that I had sex in a windmill, you probably would like
Yeah.
to get in that car now.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah,
Jesus
pretty
still
good.
loves me. So I hope that goes down in Bachelor infamy.
I know what I wanted to say. Remember when everybody was complaining that Hannah wasn't going to be articulate and communicative enough?
They're so scared.
to lead the show. I've never seen anyone more verbally precise than her.
She has been my favorite. This has been my favorite season.
Yeah, it's a
I
really good
loved
one.
last night's episode. And then this is the best part. Can I pray over you
Oh my God, I know.
before you leave?
She goes, no.
I didn't know what his intention was by saying that. Was he trying to be a nice guy in that moment?
Yeah. He was
I don't know.
He was just really trying to be a Christian as what he thinks a Christian is.
All right, maybe.
All right. So I guess we go back to Jed.
Okay, so Jed.
Ugh.
Do we really have to talk about Jed's date?
I mean,
the only important thing about Jed anymore for me, I'm sorry to interrupt, is the fact that he went on the show with a girlfriend. I'm sorry, I don't know who his PR person is, but if he tries to go wherever he is at the mental after the final rose, I don't even know anymore. If he tries to go on that show and deny everything, where was this for the past 2 months? Because to me, the story's true.
Of course.
Because now where's been the defense? Where is him saying, I'm an innocent man, this is ridiculous, I did not go on the show?
Production doesn't allow them to
know that
speak.
they're not allowing him to speak.
No, that's absurd.
Yes, you know.
If production was telling me, no, you can't speak, I have to proclaim my innocence, because now the story's 2 months ahead. It's 2 months ahead. It's over.
But
Everybody
about
believes it.
No,
wait.
You're the last one you're not the last one to disobey.
What about Garrett's Instagram likes? Did he ever get to come out and talk about it? I don't think he did.
Well, on After Final Rose, because
But they made a statement. I think Bachelor made a statement.
Yeah.
The Bachelor has not made a statement.
What I'm saying though, Garrett liked those pictures. The story was true.
Yeah. Okay.
So now I'm just assuming that the People magazine story about Jed is true because there's been nobody's saying it's not true.
I think the silence is deafening.
That's what I'm saying. So now if Jed does come out and say, oh, it's not true, it's fabricated, it's dramatic, I'm just not going to believe him.
I think this is what's happening. I think they're like, we know it's frustrating right now that you can't talk about it. We really don't want you to talk about it. We think it's going to go better for you if you wait to one of the tell-all shows.
And so now every time I see Jed on screen, and he's talking about how bad of a person Luke P is, I mean, this guy is lying about having a girlfriend back home, and it's so much worse than the Peter situation because not only is he lying about having a girl back home, but he's trying to manipulate Hannah in the moment. I don't care if he has real feelings for her or not. He has someone back home that he plans. He's still dating. That's the difference. While he's on the show, he's still dating someone back home.
To play a little devil's advocate, I kind of wondered if he made that date about Luke so that she'd be like, I don't want you talking about other guys, and then maybe dump him.
Maybe because there's one line I was so furious.
She's gonna talk about that.
So furious. Makes me worry you have a hard time letting go of things that aren't good for you in your life. I saw that as such a dig from Jed to Hannah.
Well, it was.
Whew. And I was like, damn, and I can't watch him anymore on screen. And especially, it's so hard.
Well, if that line was coming from somebody else, I don't think I'd mind it that much.
Yes,
because
you're
then
right.
he's just being. Because let's be honest, Hannah deserves a little flack for keeping Luke P. Like we all know how bad Luke P is.
Okay, yes.
So that comment to me, I interpreted differently.
Okay.
But now that you're saying this, I'm like, damn, I think she's right.
Rewatch it because I was.
Oh, it's a dig.
I took it as a big dig. Like, here he is, like sitting her down, telling her, you know, what that this guy has been toxic to you, even though she says she's, you know, super into Luke, and saying this, you know, this is a fact about you. You have a hard time letting go of things. I don't want anyone telling me that.
Yeah, but don't you want honesty from the person you're gonna be with? He would tell me something like that.
And I think also. It's a concern of his. And if he is going to be in a relationship with Hannah, listen, let's put the Jed situation aside. He's if the story is true, which I believe it to be, he's a jerk. But let's just say it's just coming from a guy to a girl in a potential relationship. I don't think it's the worst thing to vocalize something that he's very concerned about, especially if they get engaged in 2 weeks. Because let's be honest, Hannah's awesome. We all love Hannah. But we all don't like Luke P. We've all seen red flags from Luke P. from day one, and Hannah has been overlooking that. So I think the idea for us to not give any type of flack to Hannah for keeping Luke P around as long as she did is a little naive, because she deserves a little flack to say, hey, there was red flags a while ago and you let it get to this point. Just a small amount. I'm not saying that we should ridicule her, but I don't think that's the worst thing that Jed could have said. I think the worst thing that came out for me was the fact that it seemed like now he was vocalizing doubts he had.
Which is why I thought perhaps he was saying those doubts to turn her off.
Or to give him an excuse so he could leave. To say, you know what, maybe this is moving too fast, I'm seeing some red flags, I need to remove myself from the situation, even though in the back of his head it's like, because I have a girl back home, and I need to get back before she gives an exclusive to People magazine.
I was thinking that maybe he was saying, I thought that perhaps he was just like really figuring her out. I thought it was a demonstration of figuring her out and like really understanding her on a deeper level. And I also thought that perhaps he's just, I don't know, I'm losing my thoughts.
No, that's okay. I see where you're going, and
Oh, I know. She responded actually okay to it.
Yeah.
As in like she was like,
she said I'm frustrated, and she
was
got up.
frustrated, but like you could tell when he said those words that she was like, I know he's right. I know he's right. He's got me figured out. And because I think she reacted like that, I didn't take it as much of a dig.
Okay, got it. So let's talk about next week. The teaser for next week. And
I don't know why. See, this proves his ignorance and his complete lack of self-awareness.
Luke P.
The fact that Luke comes back.
That's stupid. What are you doing? Go home. And then I get it, like, it's good for the show, so of course production's gonna let him back. But come on, it's just done. Because here's the thing, Hannah finally realized, hey, it's not gonna work out with Luke P. There's a lot of red flags. He needs to figure his stuff out. So she finally got to that point, right?
Yes.
And now they're just gonna let him back in, and it's like, come on, guys, can we just?
Yeah, but as a
cut the
producer,
cord?
this is gold.
Yeah,
I know it
but
is.
you know that like they may have lightly suggested it to him, but the fact that he the fact that he thought, okay, is like
let's do it.
so disturbing.
I know.
Right, exactly. And Hannah's reaction is priceless. And then the boys like threatening to beat him up is even more priceless.
Yeah, I think a lot of people forget that because she brought 4 guys to the fantasy suite, you have to eliminate 2 this week, and one of them is Luke and gone, but she's eliminating another guy at that ceremony.
Dun dun dun.
And it's gonna be hard. That's a hard decision.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hard one because I understand why she likes all 3 of them for different reasons. I was gonna say I like all 3 of them, but I don't. After knowing about Jed, but we're finally there, guys. We have Mental all next week, and then 2-night finale the week after that, and we have no clue what to expect to the finale. Like, it's gonna be good.
A little bit about Mental.
Well, I think maybe a little. Chris Harrison did say, like, I have no idea how the finale is going to end. Like, I have no idea.
Oh.
And Hannah's like, it's going to be juicy. I haven't disappointed you yet.
Chris Harrison goes, I have no idea.
And they really don't.
Well, it's because here's the thing: if she chooses Jed,
Yeah. Then what's she doing?
what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Like what?
Right. And if she chooses Tyler or Peter, are they engaged? I don't know. Hannah has not said. But what else can I tease? It's gonna be flipping amazing. We were there for like 8 hours.
It's gonna be the most dramatic Mental.
But the first hour will be, absolutely. And then the second hour won't be, probably.
Because it's all Luke the first hour.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how they're going to edit it. But I would definitely tune in. But the editors have a lot of work to do.
They always do.
A lot of pauses with Luke P.
They're
a lot of pauses. The unsung heroes.
The unsung heroes of not only Bachelor, but every show. The poor editors.
I know.
They get just like hours and hours of footage. And they're like, okay, narrow that down into a 3-minute thing and make it good.
It's the most mind-boggling profession.
That's crazy. Poor
I
things.
know. I also feel,
Reality TV editor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Imagine them watching you guys in paradise.
I thought about it all the time. I'm like, God, these poor people, they just have to watch us and then make like me look interesting. This is really quite pathetic and sad. I feel bad for them.
All right, y'all. I think we're going to wrap up.
Okay.
Do you want to promote anything?
Yeah, I guess watch our YouTube show, What Now, if you want to know more about Jared and my life.
And Tanner and Jade and Nick.
Yep.
So yeah, that's on YouTube. What Now? What else do we got going on? You could watch our short film called The Afterburners, which was a lot of fun to do. Not gonna lie.
Also on YouTube, The Afterburners.
The Afterburners, directed by a buddy of mine. And that's it. Lucine Clark, Story Puppy Love. You can buy that on Amazon.
Oh, cute.
And you can follow us on social media. You can get us a gift on Crate and Barrel Registry if you want.
No!
Okay, bye!
If you love that video, you're going to love everything on the Access YouTube channel. So hit the subscribe button. You can thank me later. Hit it.